Welcome to YAP with YAP, a podcast series from the YAF's Youth Advisory Board.
You might expect to see your teachers and teaching assistants in the school corridors. But what about a police officer? In this YAP, we shared our experiences of police in our schools, our thoughts on what their presence might mean to different young people, and what approach schools can take to support students to thrive.
What do people think about police in schools?
Oh, great question.
I think with that, it's very controversial, and I think it poses both pros and cons. In terms of, I want to say that the school's supposed to be like a safe place, a place where a young person can express their mind freely without worries or concerns of anything else. But when you have a police monitoring the halls, that can almost feel quite claustrophobic and very, like, you're under watch and under surveillance. I think in a way it becomes like you're in a we're already predisposed to be a criminal in a way that your actions are constantly being looked over. You have to double check everything. And that's quite discouraging for young people in terms of their interactions with officers.
And I think a lot of the time as well, you only see them negatively interact. Like they're coming in and they're doing stop and searches and they're, they're telling people off, or they're trying to do deterrence. So they're saying like, oh, if you do this, you're going to prison. At no point are they saying like, hi, this is actually our role. These are your rights if we, come and talk to you. And even just down to like wearing full uniform, if they just wore even just a little bit of it, or just like kind of normal clothes, they'd seem much more approachable.
Hands up to anyone here like who had police officers in their school.
Like around school, or like inside the building.
Yeah, inside the building. Okay. Yeah. You had like police officers inside you. Yeah, because I had.
It was always just really random. Like they would just walk down the halls, or they'd just be around on campus. We never really knew the purpose why they was there, and it was kind of fear mongering in a way. Like everyone was kind of skeptical, like, oh, what's happened? It was never like a positive association with that, and I think that's really makes
I remember someone giving me like a good example when they had a police officer coming to the school, and they were like a really good like a role model almost, and they always like try to engage with people. I think that's something that is like not seen as much in school, like when the police, because I remember when our police officer came in, it was just like to intimidate almost, because when you're walking with that like the uniform on, and then it's there to like scare the kids and try to like keep them in line, and that's what like schools have kind of become, isn't it? You're just trying to like get that good grade, and as you said, it's more run like a business. It's a competition almost. You just get the best grade, and then just that's it. It doesn't matter your mental health. I guess it doesn't matter. But I think what schools and teachers and maybe even parents need to understand, that grades are not everything, and learning is not just about getting the top grades, getting to the best place, like in like the best uni or whatever. Learning is about understanding yourself, understanding the world, and trying to cope with all of it. Because I think a lot of like, even like what I spoke to like young people, my friends, there's an issue where they don't know how to cope, like go out to the world. They are just like, yeah, schools can be safe, but it's almost like a bubble. And when you're trying to like go out, then it's kind of scary, and they don't really prepare you for that. Like if you don't want to do A-levels, or if you don't want to go to uni, kids are kind of, what am I going to do? Yeah, like they don't prepare you to go to a job maybe, they don't prepare you to go to the big wild world, and that can be really scary. And if you don't have supportive parents, if you don't have a trusted adult, there's no other way that you're going to learn that. You're going to struggle, and you're going to turn to probably like youth violence.
I've got 2 points, sorry. My first point is, so just piggybacking off what you've just spoken about. So I had a more positive experience with police officers in my school. There was a police officer. She made herself very known, very clear. She taught us why she was there, so we had an understanding to why she was present in our school. And when there were issues, she would get involved, and again there was regular check-ins, and so she wasn't a stranger. She embedded herself in the school culture, community, so she wasn't just a sore thumb that stood out again. So I guess for me, I wasn't fazed by her presence. I was fine with it, because again, at that time was, when I started secondary school, I didn't even know that you could have police officers in schools. I didn't know that was a normal thing. And so, but when she taught us why she was there, I guess it was fine. And it did make a few things, I guess it helped my school, because there was, we rarely heard instances of criminality happening in the school premises. So that was fine. And outside of school, she would deal with certain situations and let us know, tell us about it, inform us about it. So I guess we were very au fait about why she was there. And going back to, again, your point about, schools and how they should engage with young people, and as you spoke about the current state of schools, I think it's important that schools have a holistic approach, how to engage with all types of students. We understand that not everyone is going to go to university. We understand that, some young people may not want to do particular things, but how can we find ways to engage young people? How can we find ways to help young people with their well-being, teach them about the world, equip them for the world, basically, equip them for whatever life, brings them next.
I think that we should have some sort of presence in schools, but what that looks like, I don't know, because I guess you can look at it like this. You've got response police officers that kind of go out to respond to 999 calls, and then you've got neighbourhood officers. Now, if you've got neighbourhood officers, you've got Bill, he's built a great relationship with the community. Then you've got a response officer called Joe. He comes in and he can ruin that very, very quickly. And you can use that analogy with schools. You can have police officers that are in the school building relationships with the young people and so forth. But then something happens, it's not always going to be that police officer that's going to respond. So that's where an issue can lie there. But I think we need to have a holistic approach with it and a restorative approach with it, because, going into schools with uniforms can also be very triggering for young people as well. So how we look at that can be. So I would kind of say that maybe we should have people that work for the police. They might be youth engagement officers that were there to deal with situations, but they're not necessarily there in a uniform, so forth. So
yeah,
that's
just
kind of
to quickly add to that, I was gonna say similar point, because as you said, the police officer went to your school because there was something going on, and I think it's so important. If you do want to have police in school, that should not be your only reason. You should have them going there for support, for more learning and knowledge, and not just to intimidate, not just there to sort out problems. Because I think we all need to I think we all agree and understand that schools should also take responsibility if something probably goes down and is happening. It's obviously it's should be, again, something that we can all contribute as students, as teachers, as parents, as everybody, as police.